Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. Los Angeles deportation protests live. All right, let's talk. Well, today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, Los Angeles deportation protests live. You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, a major protest is happening out in Los Angeles. And the people are protesting. All peoples from all walks of life is coming and they're shutting down the freeways. They're letting the government know we are here and we are here to stay. We have literally been keeping the vegetables on your table. We have literally been working in the fields, cleaning the garbage cans and making the beds at the hotels. And we have literally been sweeping the streets and doing all of these other things that the American people chooses not to do. And so, people, I wanted to shed light upon the Los Angeles deportation protests. I don't think that President Trump is going to. I don't think that President Trump is going to have his way in getting rid of all of the immigrants. Because, truth be told, people, the United States is full of immigrants. Everybody has immigrated somewhere, some shape, form, or another, to the United States. And so the United States is an immigrant country, an immigrant nation, because people travel far and broad to come to the United States. So, people, so I wanted to shed light upon this. This is really something because what's happening is, people's, when the people come and unite, things happen. And so President Trump, he can sit in the Oval Office and he can sit and, he can clout, he can complain, he can do everything that he wants. But when the American people had enough, they had enough. And so the people here are speaking up, peoples. They had enough. And they are letting the American people and they're letting everybody else know we are here to stay. Just like what Snoop Dogg had said, F Donald Trump. Well, the people said F ICE and Donald Trump. And so, peoples, let me go ahead and share this. This is Edward Joseph. Let's Talk Live. I need you guys to come and like and subscribe to the channel and follow, if you will. But like and subscribe to the channel and share this live, peoples, so that everybody can be able to see it. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, people. So let's get into this. This is going to be interesting. This is happening now. This is live in Los Angeles, California. And I tell you, people, this is costing taxpayers a hell of a lot of money. People can't get to their jobs and everything. So much stuff is happening. But, you know, the only thing I can say is my hats off to the people. I said my hats off to the people who's protesting. Hats off to you. Let's get into this, peoples. Let's go.
you. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Thank you, thank you.
Everywhere you can be. 12 here in City Hall, Monday, National Day Without Immigrants.
Thank you. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Thank you, thank you.
Everywhere you can be. 12 here in City Hall, Monday, National Day Without Immigrants.
Thank you. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Thank you, thank you.
12 noon, City Hall, Monday, National Day Without Immigrants.
Thank you.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede.
Thank you. Thank you.
Something everywhere you can be. 12 noon, City Hall, Monday, National Day Without Immigrants.
Thank you.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede.
Thank you. Thank you.
Something everywhere you can be. 12 noon, City Hall, Monday, National Day Without Immigrants.
Thank you.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede.
And so, peoples, there you have it. There has been the protests of the people who is literally tired of Donald Trump. They're tired of him. And so the people was out there protesting. They literally shut down the freeway peoples. And to be frank with you, I'm happy. I'm really happy that the people are finally standing up in things and stuff. I mean, you know, now I understand many of you don't like the immigrants being here and stuff, but let's be frank, peoples. Who is going to get out there into the fields and pick the corn and the potatoes, the lemons and the limes and the pistachios and all of that stuff. Who's going to work in a field like that? You won't do it. The American people won't do it. It's the immigrants that's doing it. They're the ones who's keeping vegetables and fruits and stuff on your table. And so you can sit here and complain about them forever and a day and stuff. But next time you go out to the fancy restaurant and things and you don't have no fruits or vegetables on your dish and things, well then blame Donald Trump. I said blame Donald Trump because it is the immigrants that is the ones who is keeping the food on your table. They're the ones who's out there in the fields, who's plowing, who's sweating years and tears, something that you choose not to do. So next time you want to sit over here and vilify the immigrants, well then think again. I said think again, peoples. Is that all right, peoples? Hello, Mello. How are you, my friend? It is a blessing to see you. And tonight, Mello had said, Bro Ed, hello, everyone in the chat. Well, we're just here. We're just here. We're just prancing through and, just covering a few little topics and stuff on tonight. Things. I'm going to share my screen momentarily, peoples. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some other things that is going on, whatnot. Let me see, and let me take it home to the home page. I'm going to share my screen this way so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this off, share my screen. We're going to browse through real quick here. So let me share my screen this way. Share my complete screen, turn that on, and then we're going to browse the internet. And so let's see what's happening here, peoples. Okay, so it seems like Fox is live in a LA anti-protest. I don't know why Fox is the only one that is pretty much covering this and things. But let's see if we can see something different, peoples. LA protests. LA protests today. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Channel 7 ABC News has covered it. So let's take a look, peoples. Let's take a look at ABC News Channel 7 and see what's going on. Now, see, it's a lot more immigrants out in out and about, peoples, more so than what you ever thought. And so the people are really just like saying, hey, look, we had enough. We had enough. And they had enough, peoples. They literally had enough. And I don't see ICE out here trying to go ahead and pick up all of these people and things. Look at all of these people, peoples. Do you actually think that they're going to get all of these people out of the United States, peoples? Really? Oh boy, peoples, you got to be kidding me. Let's take a look at this here. I mean, I got mixed emotions and stuff. Now I do want them to deport all of the criminals and things, but the people who's here and who's illegal, who's hardworking and stuff, let them stay. Hey, they're paying taxes and they're living a good life and things. Let them stay. Let them stay. Give them an opportunity. Let them stay. It's just those people who do all of this dirty madness and stuff. Yeah, deport those peoples, or put them in Guantanamo Bay and things, and let them feel how it is to go ahead and bring havoc into people's lives and stuff. But these people who are here illegally and they're working hard and stuff, let them stay. What do you guys think? I mean, that's just my take upon it. I have a soft spot. That's just my take upon it, peoples. I think that everybody deserves a chance to be able to live the American dream. I mean, what more are we suffering more so than at the hands of these presidents? You know, what more are we suffering, people? We're not really suffering that much more than what we are with these presidents, especially Donald Dump. But peoples, let's take a look at this here. Let's take a look at this here. Tonight is the LA riots. Tonight, peoples, we're going to look at what these people are doing. And, I mean, while they're doing all of that and stuff, peoples, you know what I want? I want to taste some tacos and nachos or something, you know. Give me a quesadilla, you know. Give me a tostada or enchilada or something. Something, peoples. Something, something. Ooh, that sounds so good. I think I am going to make me some nachos because I got me some Velveeta cheese and it's already melted. Now all I need to do is just go get me a bag of Doritos and then cook me some ground beef. I'm gonna make me some nachos. I've already got all the other stuff, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna make me right now, peoples. Gonna go ahead and just warm up that cheese and make me some nachos real quick. But let's take a look at this here, peoples. Dang, it's still going on. All right, let's take a look. I don't know if they got any sound on this. They're in a helicopter, so they don't pretty much have no sound on this.
Ese grupo de manifestantes era un grupo grande, eran aproximadamente 300 personas, y ese era el grupo que estaba enfrente del ayuntamiento de la ciudad, localizado en la calle Spring, justo al sur de la autopista 101. Y de
I'm,
ahí
I'm
ese
gonna
grupo empezó a
I'm
marchar
gonna
por las
switch my
calles.
my screen, peoples. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna switch my screen. Do it a different way. Now they may be speaking in Spanish or something, but I don't know. I probably can just go ahead and put some music to it. But let's take a look at this. This is live right now. Very live coverage.
Posiblemente pudieran ser arrestados. Hoy día no hemos visto ningún arresto y ayer estuve en el helicóptero sobre las
Any Spanish
manifestaciones
speaking
por
people?
casi 8 horas y durante todas esas horas no vimos ningún arresto. Entonces, por lo
Let me
menos de mi
see.
testimonio, no puedo decir que he visto ningún
And I
arresto ni
put
ayer ni
the
a hoy.
closed caption on it.
Thank you, Sarah. I said thank you. The 6 o'clock's about to start, so I think we're doing a Kavea first and then everything. Thank you.
Okay, so it's not really showing much of nothing other than, just a lot of people was out and about and things. So let's switch gears for a moment. This is a live coverage right now, and this is happening in downtown Los Angeles. And
And
the
I'll see from
people's
the chopper. I'm listening to Kaveh because I think I'm up on there first. But if NBC needs me, let me know.
people was taken to the streets and things.
Great. I'm listening to Kaveh then.
All right, so we're going to come back to this, people's. We're going to come back to this. This is live coverage. We're going to come back to that. Let's take a look at something else that had happened earlier, peoples. Let's take a look at this right here.
Here as if they were going to be taken into custody, placed under arrest, more like just getting them off of this roadway. But it does appear like that is now clear. You're on Los Angeles Street, if I remember correctly. So it looks like the overpass is now cleared. Yeah. So tell us what you see behind you, how far back that goes, and whether police you think are going to kind of start sweeping to get people out of this general area away from the 101.
So let me show you two things that are important real quick, because I think to show you exactly where we are. Let's go over in this direction here, right? So we have the road that runs along the 101 as well. You see all those orange flashing lights, the yellow flashing lights. I know obviously it's a little bit dark out here, but just to give you a sense, that's Aliso Street, right? We were there at 6 o'clock. People were blocking the intersection there, and we saw this huge swarm of LAPD kind of come up that street to try to dissipate the crowd. And guess what happens? You move the crowd from that location, they end up at another location. And because it's been so packed over here, they were able to essentially block this entire intersection here. And that's where they have been sitting for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. If we turn back around real quick, you can see police, LAPD has gotten a good control on trying to block traffic. For the entirety of the afternoon we've been out here, these roads have been open to cars. Now, not to say cars are moving or cars are moving particularly fast, but many of them were protesters, and you had some other people within the crowd trying to drive through. So people have been walking through, weaving their way through crowds. Now it seems LAPD has gotten to the point where they have this crowd on this intersection here, and most of the streets in the immediate vicinity kind of shut off. Obviously, with the riot gear and with the officers here, there's a concern that there may be potentially arrest or confrontation. That has not happened. This has been peaceful. Obviously, they got on the 101 several times over the course of this afternoon. But at the moment, this crowd really just started gathering here in the last 15, 20 minutes. You see them having very lively conversations face-to-face with police. It's not escalated to this point, but obviously this is the particular area we're keeping an eye on. And if you look up the street as well, these protesters go all the way up to the following street as well. So there's still easily hundreds, if not several thousand, still out here.
All right, Tim, we are hearing from CHP that they gave a dispersal order earlier this afternoon. Is that something that you possibly have heard on the ground that people are just ignoring? Or do you think it's possible that these protesters did not know they had been ordered to disperse?
So there's been kind of several different kind of bumps throughout the day, right? So the protest started earlier today. They got onto the 101 at one point, and there was essentially a line of CHP, a dozen cars, 25 cars that lined up, and all the protesters right at this intersection where we are. And I'll show you here behind me, because they're not here now, but I just want to give you a sense of where they were, right? Because they all walked down this on-ramp here initially, and they got onto the 101 right there. And when CHP came out here, there was a bit of a standoff, right? It took a good hour and a half where nobody moved. And then eventually, after that order came down, the people eventually worked their way back up the off-ramp itself onto these streets here. I'm going to walk you down a little bit to show you. I know the action's in the other direction where all the people are and LAPD is, but you're asking about a little bit earlier. So that dispersal happened when they were on the 101 itself. And you see what's happening here, because this is the road that they're not letting them down. This is where they initially went down. And you see with the police tape up here, even all the garbage on the ground from the people who were walking down there and protesting earlier today, they are not letting anyone, protesters, cars, otherwise go down this street. That's where it began. But then eventually, when many of those people came up onto these streets in downtown, they were covering all the streets. They initially went to City Hall. They kind of went in the other direction as well. They've been all over the place. There's so many protesters out here that they're essentially on every street corner, or at least have been. Now the group is a little bit smaller, and they seem to have gathered on this corner here, Arcadia and Los Angeles Street, and that's where LAPD has kind of closed in on this group and now essentially trying to disperse them. But this just happening in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, so it's going to be a little time.
They're trying to do what they can to clear any room. We'll walk along with you, Tim. I think the northbound side of the 101 looks like it just had an escort and might be open. We had said it was open before, but I believe that was just clearing the cars that were trapped there. And the southbound side moving once again. Okay, so we can report here at 6:41 that the 101 freeway appears to be back open in both directions. So they've cleared that overpass of Los Angeles Street where Tim is on. And it looks like they're also trying to back some protesters away from those side streets, Aliso, which overlooks the 101 freeway on one side, and then Arcadia, which overlooks the freeway where you are pointing right now. And so we'll see if they continue to push those protesters back. I think from what we can tell, it looks like things might have calmed down a little bit once police stepped in to kind of show where things were going, where protesters were allowed. They're not going to allow them to do this. Or we could see, as we've seen before, this group kind of regroup, reposition themselves, and find another way to get on the freeway. It's just a matter of seeing what this group does and where their motivations are and how motivated they are to continue this disruption.
Yeah, and one of the things we're hearing right now is all those horns that are honking from people that are riding on the freeway. So as those have been signs of possible support from cars that might entice them to want to stay out there longer as they're trying to get their message out there. And for the cars driving along the freeway that are kind of honking and encouraging them to stay, then that might increase the chances that they won't disperse as soon as they can.
Yeah. And we can see you from Air 7 at the top of your screen. There is Tim and our cameraman Will. This is Los Angeles Street overpass over the 101 freeway. A large group has gathered on Arcadia Street and Los Angeles Street overlooking the 101 freeway. And we have not heard any fireworks go off in the last few minutes. I say that knocking on wood, hoping that does not change. But Tim, what does it sound like from ground level of what's going on there?
Well, this all happened very quickly. In fact, after we talked to you guys at 6 o'clock, we were working our way back to our van, which is just on the other side of this crowd. We actually walked a long way around, following the initial crowd that marched along one street over from where we are and back to Los Angeles Street. And when we got here, that's when a handful of people found a kind of sneaky way to get on an on-ramp back onto the 101. And once that happened, it was kind of like a melee for a second, because everyone saw the people on the freeway, and then everyone was kind of running around trying to figure out, hey, they too get on the freeway. CHP shut that down quick. But what ended up happening was, as people were overlooking, like right from here, on folks who were on the freeway, this area right here on Los Angeles Street started to get pretty packed, because everyone was watching the folks on the freeway on this corner and on that corner. And then what happened is this entire intersection got packed with people because everyone was looking at the folks on the freeway. Those folks get kicked off the freeway, come up here, and that's why you have this kind of mix of this kind of lively crowd, as I've been calling it, from the last really 30 or 40 minutes of the folks who came up from the 101, saw LAPD out here, kind of was flipping them off, getting angry, yelling things at LAPD, and that's when you started to see even more officers come out here, including the tactical unit, and kind of creating this line to prevent them from going either on the freeway itself or blocking any more of these streets. This is, I mean, you could see better from Air 7, but this is easily 10, 15 people deep here, and it goes all the way up the street. On the front lines, they're holding signs. They are exchanging a few words here and there, but again, this is kind of the same vibe it was 5, 6 o'clock this evening as they were protesting and walking through the streets. It's just now LAPD has kind of closed in and made the area where they're hanging out a little bit smaller. And obviously, at the moment, it's quiet, but who knows how long it's going to last. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people still out here.
For sure, Tim. You've been calling it a lively crowd. And as you've mentioned, you've been out there for us all afternoon kind of covering this. Do you think some of the people that we're seeing were not originally part of this protest and have kind of just joined in? And is that contributing to what we're seeing?
I can't tell you if it's a new crop of folks that came in that have a different mentality. I can tell you there were a lot of cars trying to get in, trying to park, trying to join the protest throughout the course of the afternoon. These folks are no more lively than they were earlier today. I'm using that word because I feel like that's a kind way to say a non-violent protest that is obviously full of passion, full of heart, and full of a true deep meaning for the people who have come out here, some of them for the entirety of the day, 6-7 hours out here protesting. Many of these folks, and I've seen some of them from earlier today, from a couple hours ago, they've just been out here for hours. And I think maybe it's the police kind of pushing in a little bit. Everyone's, nerves go up a little bit. But obviously this crowd, they've been setting off fireworks. They've been blowing the horns. They've been waving the flags. They've been blowing the whistles and everything. That's been a constant, essentially, through the course of the day. It's now a little bit more compact, so it seems a little bit more intense. But we've seen this through the course of the afternoon.
All right, great points that you're making there. I mean, they want to get their message out there, and they are certainly doing it. I mean, we're able to see, some of the signs that are there, which are using some very strong language, some 4-letter words to express their feeling toward the Trump administration and towards these, deportations that we've seen in the past couple of weeks or so. So they're making their voices heard. We see this young lady here, dancing, and she has a Mexican flag with her. So, they are passionate, as you said, and they want to get that message out there.
And this has not been isolated to Los Angeles. This was a nationwide movement today, just looking around the country to see where this has been happening. We're looking at Atlanta, Charlotte, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, San Jose, St. Louis, Seattle, Houston, most major cities in the United States and some smaller ones. Idaho Falls here held a protest this weekend. This is happening nationwide in response to President Trump's administration and his handling of deportations of those here in this country illegally. We know that it was a campaign promise. He said day one, he's signing an executive order and will begin deportations on Inauguration Day, January 20th. They began in cities, including here in Los Angeles. But what has happened is instead of getting rid of violent offenders who are in this country illegally, those who have done nothing wrong other than entering this country illegally or overstaying their visa, those who do not have permission to be here right now are also being swept up in these raids and deported. And that is part of the reason why there are so many people upset tonight.
Yeah, we also want to mention, too, out in the Inland Empire, there was a similar protest today against the Trump administration immigration policies with several hundred people there on Tyler and Magnolia. That was in Riverside, also taking to the streets with those signs, with those flags, even crossing intersections there. So we are seeing and have been focusing on kind of what's happening in downtown Los Angeles tonight. But across our area, again, another peaceful demonstration happening today earlier also in Riverside to just protest these mass deportations that have now been carried out by the new administration.
So on the left side of your screen, a live picture from the ground of the 101 freeway now flowing once again in both directions. On the right side of your screen is a live picture from Air 7. And it looks like a large bulk of that group that is gathered near where Tim Caputo has been reporting is breaking up and traveling east on Los Angeles Street, away from the 101 freeway. Again, we want to track where they're going and what they plan on doing. But Tim Caputo is live on the scene right now on Los Angeles Street. Tim.
Yeah, it seems like a coordinated effort for this group to move, not necessarily forced by LAPD themselves. We've noticed over the course of the afternoon as well, there have been a handful of leaders who have been very vocal in kind of getting the crowd to either move in that direction towards City Hall, which is around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then another movement away from City Hall around 5:45. And just in the last, you mentioned it, Jory, 5 minutes or so, this large group now moving away from this intersection here at Arcadia Street and Los Angeles Street and moving down towards it's unknown where they're going at this point, but certainly the confrontation line, which was up against these LAPD officers, has kind of dissipated a little bit as they move farther away. We'll try to get a handle on exactly where they're going, but obviously moving farther from the 101 is good news, certainly for drivers as they've gotten on the freeway several times over the course of today. But at the moment, at least this intersection here, there seems to be obviously a handful of people hanging out, but the vast majority already moving down Los Angeles Street. There is a big kind of square around the corner here where some other protesters were gathering just around 6 o'clock, 6:15 tonight. They could be headed there as well. There were speakers there. There were kind of chants and cheering there as well. It was a much different feel than here, and that may be where they're headed, but certainly it seems like the de-escalation efforts here seem to be working as many of the folks are moving away.
Yeah, Tim, you've been covering this for us, and you have been speaking with people. That sometimes in live coverage can be a little bit dangerous because you don't know what people are going to get on live TV and say, or if they're going to be cussing or whatever. But you have been speaking with a lot of people out there today. What is their sentiment? What have they been telling you about why they wanted to come out, and even the energy in the crowd? What can you share?
So listen, there's a lot of folks here who are deeply impacted by these immigration policies, by these deportations from ICE, and just the way the Trump administration has gone about it. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of concern, and it's more than just personal. It's your family members, it's your cousins, it's your aunts, it's your grandparents. These are people that they're genuinely worried about out here. And a lot of them have said the same thing, as we want to be the voice for them, because some of them have been deported, some of them are under threat of being deported. They're not willing to come out here, so they want to be the voice of those people, their loved ones, their family members, their friends. And that's the reason that they came out here. Like I said, they're very passionate about this as well. They want to be known that they are not taking this lightly. They want their voices to be heard. Many of them understand that this may go nowhere when it comes to the Trump administration and Washington hearing their concerns. But there's also a sense of community that I've talked to a lot of people about here, people who said, listen, it's not just Mexican flags out here. There are a lot of countries and a lot of families of folks who are impacted by this, and together to see this crowd, to see how riled up and pumped up people are out here, makes them feel like there is a community and that there is purpose and impact in what they're doing out here. And I think that's why you're seeing such a, as I put it, lively crowd out here, because it's not just a policy that just happens in thin air. This is a policy that's happening to family. This is a policy that's happening to friend. I do want to get a look at more LAPD coming in here as well. Those sirens going as they bring more officers to this area. But I think that's the sentiment out here, and I think that's why it's very personal for a lot of folks, and that's why they definitely wanted to come out here to have their voices heard, to let the Trump administration know, to let the federal government know, to let the mayor's office, the governor's office, any elected official who could possibly help them know that they are out here, they want to be helped, and they have family members and friends and loved ones who need the help as well.
Yeah. We're watching right now, Tim, from up above. Some of those protesters have gone down Los Angeles Street, which as it travels to the east, curls around and spills out onto Alameda, right in front of Union Station, which is what you are looking at right now. Union Station is down at the bottom of your screens, those kind of dark roofs, and over to the right, you can see the white tower of Union Station. Alameda is running left to right, and the 101 freeway is on the left there. So you can see Los Angeles Street goes curls up and around to where that main gathering of protesters are, and now it is complete gridlock across Los Angeles. We have the Grammys going on a bit to the west and to the south, and a lot of pedestrians now walking down Alameda, some bicyclists and people, protesters in the roadway on Alameda. They can't get onto the 101. They're spilling now into the side streets and disrupting traffic there as well.
Yeah, so just an interesting situation playing out right now. And we did just see from that live image on the ground that Tim showed us of more LAPD officers moving in. So while he mentioned maybe there hasn't been an official dispersal order from those SWAT units that came in or tactical units that came in, maybe that is about to happen shortly. And that's why the additional officers and resources are being brought in. But again, great point that Jory highlighted a bit ago is that once these this crowd and these protesters, demonstrators are asked to disperse, where do they go from there? And then what impact does that have on traffic in the area? What impact does that have? Because we've seen it happen in the past. Maybe there is a dispersal here, and then 5 or 10 minutes later, you know, the group has popped up at another intersection, and then the protest just continues into the night. So certainly something that law enforcement has to figure out before they order this group or any group to disperse is what are the next steps that happen after that, and how can they kind of get ahead of that to make sure that everyone is safe, not only these protesters, but also the drivers who now have to, keep an eye out to make sure they're not possibly hitting somebody. I mean, these individuals are walking, as you mentioned, just in the midst of traffic right now.
Yeah, I believe we've swung around. Is this still Alameda and Arcadia? If I can get some perspective, I see the 101 freeway is off to the right. Yeah, so there's the 101 freeway. So there is another entrance point onto the 101 freeway, a little down. Aliso becomes commercial, and there is an on and an off ramp there. If you go further on the other side, there's Viñas Street that they can pop off on. That's behind the courthouse, the bus depot, Union Station. So there are other entry and exit points from the 101 freeway. It's just a matter of what these people want to do, how motivated they are to continue this into the night. And it appears that they are continuing this into the night. We're back here at Los Angeles Street. I believe this is where we have been focusing. No, maybe not. So Los Angeles Street, this is Alameda. Okay, back at Alameda. And the protesters are continuing to move around this area. They've been shut out of Los Angeles Street, the overpass over the 101 freeway that is now up to the top of your screen. We're going to see that group gathered right there on the right side of the 101 freeway. That is where Tim Caputo is and watching this crowd. And it looks like this group is now moving, breaking apart. Let's go back down to Tim if we can on the ground to see what is happening to that gathering there. Tim?
Yeah, I just noticed a couple things here. We had more police officers show up, including an officer with the bullhorn here who started to talk to the crowd. I did speak with an LAPD officer who confirms there has not been a dispersal order for this gathering at the moment, just the one that happened earlier when they were on the 101. So no dispersal order yet, with the increased officers that have shown up to the scene and the bullhorn letting folks know to head in that direction. Again, fireworks have been going off. Don't worry about those noises. That's been going off for the last several hours. You see the man with the bullhorn coming out here as well, telling this crowd to move. And in fact, if you look in the crowd there, actually, you see a guy in a black shirt. These are one of the protesters and maybe even one of the organizers of the protest itself, because he has his own kind of bullhorn, and he's the one telling people move in this direction. This is something that we've kind of seen over the course of the day too, especially as the crowd has kind of shifted into different areas of downtown. You've had these kind of leaders of the protest getting people to move in a certain direction. And guess what, guys? They do exactly that. So in this instance, you're seeing right there this guy with the black shirt and shorts on telling people to move up the street. This is Arcadia Street. It runs along the 101. We're right at Los Angeles Street, where now CHP has joined LAPD here on the street itself to eventually try to get people to move out of here. They obviously I should say that's the Sheriff's Department now backing up LAPD, standing on Los Angeles Street here as the crowd now moving its way up Arcadia. You guys mentioned the traffic. Saying it's a mess is the understatement of the century. It has been a problem all day long, as many of these protesters have been not just on the 101, but many of these streets in downtown LA. And it's real.
So people, let's just be frank here. Let's just be real, just for one moment. Let's be real, just for one moment. This is costing us a massive amount of money. And when I say a massive amount of money, that's exactly what I mean. A massive amount of money. This protest is costing us a massive amount of money because you have all of these officers out there, and it's happening all over the United States in every major city. And all of these officers is getting overtime. Some of them is getting triple time. And if the people really wanted to do some serious damage, they could. Although they're protesting peacefully right now, but if the people really wanted to riot and really make this into something different than what it is, they can. And it ain't enough police officers that can quell any type of violence that may occur. And so they can be out there in the riot gear and things. You know, they can go and try to intimidate the people as much as they want. But to be honest with you people, the power is in the people. When the people had enough of the government, the people stand up. And when the people stand up, it ain't much that the government can do. Because when civil unrest tends to take hold, well, the government is powerless. You know, They're powerless. And so they're only going to push the people to a certain degree. And then after that, they're going to back off. People are not stupid. But I think the people had enough. And so this is what happens, people's, when you're tired of the government trying to push you around. This is what happens. Now, many of you voted Trump in and you wanted to see a change. Well, you're seeing a change right now. That's happening. But is this what you wanted? Is it, people? Is this what you wanted? You tell me. Let's go ahead and get back into this, peoples. Let's go.
Real quick, I want to show you in this direction as well. They've shut down Los Angeles Street and Aliso halfway up the street as well. So LAPD has come in to try to manage the traffic situation, which was a bit scary at times because cars were moving as protesters were moving physically on the street as well. They were moving slow, albeit, but they were moving around at the same time. Obviously, now the group moving its way up the street, up Arcadia Street, where they're headed is unknown. But as you guys mentioned, some were going down towards the train station. Some were moving to this square about a block away. There doesn't seem to be a specific rhyme or reason. And because there are several thousand people with separate groups of hundreds of here, hundreds of people here, they may be just kind of going with the flow of the people as they're moving. So there might not be specific purpose to it. But obviously, at least when it comes to this intersection and this kind of tense back and forth that lasted easily 15, 20, 35 minutes here, this has dissipated, at least for the moment. I'll step out of the frame, guys, here just as the LAPD starts to move across the street.
Okay, Tim, we'll take a look and see what these officers are doing now, whether they're just shutting down traffic or whether they're moving in now to make arrests. Anytime you see police in tactical gear with movement like that, they do have some intent, a specific purpose, and it's likely not good for anyone on the ground who is not supposed to be there. Are you able? We only have about 45 seconds left in this broadcast, but are you able to hear what the police are announcing on the ground, Tim? Are you still with us?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Actually, he moved farther down, and because we found ourselves on the opposite side of police, I can't hear on the opposite side, but he's clearly getting them to move out of the street and off the sidewalk, is at least what I heard on this corner here, is you have to move, you have to move.
Yeah, okay, we'll see how they proceed here, the police. Tim, thanks, great job in a, once again, difficult situation, so we appreciate your hard work there on the ground. We will continue to follow this situation. It's been going on for hours, all day. Began this morning. Protests continue in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, we will continue to follow this evening and break in, if necessary, this peaceful protest continuing tonight in downtown Los Angeles against the Trump administration's deportation policies.
No, we're not going to meet the press. I said we're not going to meet the press, peoples. We're going to take another look at something different here. It's going to take another look here, peoples. I know this is live, but this is the helicopter. And the helicopter is not, they don't have the actual reporters stating anything. Ain't much happening, but I don't want to listen to all of these other hilarious and nefarious commentators. I said I don't want to listen to the hilarious and nefarious commentators, peoples. But this is interesting right here. We're going to hit and miss, get into a few little things and hit and miss. So let's take a look at this right here, peoples. It was literally jumping on the cars and stuff. Oh boy. I know that must be scary.
If people care, they pay attention, and they see how many people are not okay with what they're doing right now, I would hope so. So I just really hope it makes a difference.
This was the scene for most of the evening in National City. Droves of people took over much of Highland Avenue, protesting recent immigration policies and actions. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I am Wale Aliyu. From the beginning of the demonstration, we were there. ABC 10 News reporter Ava Kirshner watched as the demonstration evolved and took on different forms throughout the night.
The colors red, white, and green have taken over Highland Avenue here in National City in protest to the increase of immigration and customs enforcement across the county. They tell me they want to turn their fear into action and make their voices heard. A peaceful protest quickly growing in size. Highland Avenue being swarmed with people.
I see a lot of youth, which I'm happy to see here, that are out here supporting. I see a lot of families with kids. I see a lot of older people as well.
Most spreading their message proudly.
We're here to speak for the people who cannot speak, and we're here to stand up for the right.
But some breaking out into a fight on Highland Avenue and East 14th Street. Demonstrations like these have been ramping up since President Trump's federal immigration policy threatened to deport undocumented immigrants living in the United States. Trump's border czar saying that those who are undocumented are at risk of deportation even if they do not have a criminal record.
We spent almost every day this week crying, honestly.
Trump's border czar also saying it's all a part of the administration's plan to send a clear message. These protesters say, message received. Throughout the evening, there were fireworks, motorcycles, and an eventual street takeover. Towards the end of the night, the protest was declared unlawful by police. Despite some escalation on Highland Avenue, their voices were heard loud and clear.
It's going to make a difference. I hope so. If people care, they pay attention, and they see how many people are not okay with what they're doing right now, I would hope so.
In National City, I'm Ava Kirshner, ABC 10 News.
Okay, people, so let's take a look at this real quick here. Oops, gotta go to the other screen. Let's take a look at this here.
Well, turning now to thousands of anti-ICE protesters taking the streets in downtown LA.
They marched onto the freeway and blocked traffic on the 101, speaking out against President Trump's immigration policies. Yeah. And KCAL News reporter Amanda Starantino live still in downtown where protesters are faced off with law enforcement through the night. Amanda?
Good evening. Well, parades of people have been protesting from the morning well into the evening, some still going now. And you can see LAPD still behind us here. They have blocked off the Main Street Bridge here, and they continue to move their skirmish line through the area, trying to push people out. About 6 p.m. this evening, police declared this an unlawful assembly. And since then, they've been working to get people to disperse out of this area. We still have CHP and LAPD choppers ahead watching where these protesters are going as they continue to make their way through downtown LA, sharing their strong message against President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. Thousands of people took to the streets of downtown LA protesting President Donald Trump's illegal immigration policies. The demonstration started on Olvera Street with a march to City Hall early Sunday afternoon. LAPD ordered multiple street closures in the area as the moving protests grew in size. It eventually shut down the 101 as demonstrators took their rally to the freeway. With Mexican and Central American flags waving, signs referencing the president's stance on immigration, explosions of fireworks, and chants of Si se puede, their message loud and clear against the president's promise of mass deportation.
We're not criminals. We just want to work. A lot of people just want to work. We all want to survive.
Sarah Aguilar of Long Beach is a daughter of immigrant parents.
I'm out here to represent for my people. I'm out here to be the voice for the people that have been silenced out of fear. I'm out here
to keep pushing.
And as this protest goes into the evening hours, traffic completely gridlocked on surface streets right alongside the 101 as thousands of protesters take over the Main Street Bridge downtown.
This really hurts. Like, seeing everybody go through this thing, like I have family members, I got friends that have to go through all this stuff, and it just hurts.
Carla Cervantes of Brea protesting in the downtown traffic.
It's all the hate, honestly, all this new laws that Trump is trying to bring into this world. Like, this is not what we're really like looking for.
Since taking office, President Trump has signed multiple executive orders cracking down on illegal immigration. In Los Angeles, ICE has begun deportations, a fear for many who showed up to this protest.
It's not just about our individual selves. It's about our friends, our families, our students, our neighbors, for those who cannot show up today.
It's sad in the fact that they're coming so strong with all these ICE raids, and they're unjustifying the deportation of some of the U.S. citizenships that have been taken just because of how they look. And I just think right now these are needed. They're very much needed, because it is the moment where you are going to see that all of the voices, all of the people are together. And when we're together, we will not be divided.
In a post on X, LAPD says the demonstration is non-permitted. And by 6 p.m., the department declared it an unlawful assembly and began to close in on protesters.
Just look at this. This is beautiful. This is all the people. We are the people. Power to the people.
All right, so you can see the 101 back open in both directions now, but CHP blocking the Los Angeles Street exit right there, right before Alameda and Union Station, blocking access also to the Main Street Bridge as well. But if you come back out here, we can see that LAPD still has their presence out here. It looks like they've been able to push those protesters out of this area. It looks like they made it their way down to Main and Alameda, where we can see those choppers, the law enforcement choppers, still circling that area. And we still have a LAPD coming down right here too, on Spring and Arcadia, patrolling this area, trying to get everyone to disperse as they have called this an unlawful assembly. So we'll keep an eye on this. We do not know if any arrests have been made so far yet. Back to you guys.
Man, thank you. A rowdy crowd of protesters also gathered in the San Fernando Valley. Police say about 250 people are at this demonstration in Pacoima. The group says they just want to get their message across.
We're out here demonstrating. It's a little ruckus, but we're out here showing that, the immigrants do matter. For our people, we help build this state. We help build this country.
It's because it's super injustice that this is going on when immigrants really do make America great. We help build your crops. We help make buildings, constructions, and you treat us like garbage, like if we're unuseful.
Yeah, some people, police say some vehicles, I should say, were performing stunts and blocking streets. No word yet on if any arrests have been made.
Here we go. We are currently here in downtown Los Angeles, right next to the 101 South, and I believe near the 4th Street exit, or something like that. There's a massive protest against the ICE deportations that are happening all over the country. Jog my memory, is Los Angeles a sanctuary city? I do not remember. I think it is. Oh yeah, it's completely gridlocked. Hashtag FDT. Any guesses on what that particularly means? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Might have found a good spot here. Hold on a second. Yes, sir. Here we are. Well, everyone's parked here legally. Telemundo's in town, too. Look at this. Both ways of the 101 are shut down. That's crazy. Let's go over there and check out the action. We're going straight into the thick of it. Oh, someone's getting blessed, dude. Let's go. Someone just got blessed, bro. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. The caddy, baby. The CTSV. That sounds dirty, baby. Oh, he's doing. Oh, he's got to move the bike. Dude, that guy's That's a naughty boy. That's a naughty boy right there. This guy's got a lot of flags. Oh, they're literally selling flags. That makes sense. Oh, Lord Almighty. I drink my horchata warm because fuck ice. Dude, class, you got all the vendors here too. This is amazing. Oh, yeah. So we're off the 101 right before the Alameda Street exit here. Look at this. Holy fucking hell, dude. So they were on the freeway around an hour or two ago. They finally shut that down and got everyone off the freeway. They're having a little fiesta over there, so to speak. All the vendors in town, too. Unbelievable. All the people up on that bridge. On the other side over there, there were more people on the bridge over here earlier, but I think we saw them move out to another location, so they're splitting off. I might be the only Chinese American out here. Might be the only Asian American out here. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Hold on. Look at this over here. Dude, the hot dog vendors. They got the QR codes for the Venmo. Pretty amazing. This guy's hawking water, dude, from Costco. God bless America. You know it, baby. It's quickly turned into a takeover over here in downtown Los Angeles. So far, it's been pretty peaceful. Not a lot of tomfoolery happening just yet, so you never know. That's a pretty damn big flag. Wow. Oh, we got the Yoshi livery over there. Yoshi on the Charger. On the Daytona edition, dude. Hold on. I gotta say, what is Yoshi doing over here? Oh, man. We're still Car Channel, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Dude, he's got a bunch of Yoshis on the dash. Oh, yeah. Dude, got the Yoshi license plate. Oh. Oh. The best part is honestly the food vendors. You gotta love it, man. Wow, look at this setup here. Toyota Camry has an anime wrap on it. Look at that. Oh, amazing. Yo, look at this pickup truck. Oh, he's got the wing. Look at this old timer over here, dude. Jeez. Oh. We are now designating this intersection the Gauntlet. There's only literally one lane of traffic here to get through. So if you're stuck in there, good luck. Oh, there's some of these signs. Look at this. Pick your own fruit then. Oh, man. The Gauntlet's getting more crowded here. Oh. In the Honda minivan. As the sun goes down, I feel the crowds will eventually dissipate. It's a nice little protest, a little rally, shut down the freeway. Not great, but you know, CHP is on the case. And we're going to see where this takes us. But I feel like when the sun goes down, the crowds will eventually dissipate. It's a non-violent protest. So the police are basically just kind of angling it out. And they have a perimeter around the crowds here, just doing a little crowd control. That's it. Yes, look at that fit. Let's go. Let's go. Driving around here, the splintered off route that we saw earlier. Of course, you still got the food vendors running around. Dang, kind of want a hot dog right now. Is this City Hall? It is City Hall. This guy's got a Doge in front of his Celica. Look at this. He's got a Doge. Dude, that Camry is wilding out. Lighting is actually pretty nice here in downtown Los Angeles for once. Pretty good weather here. One block over here, we got a nice little dog park. People just chilling with the dogs. Look at that. There's like 4 to 5 separate groups of protesters. Oh, wow. There's even, whoa. Oh, they're all like on the on-ramp here. We got like 20 black and whites over here parked up. Just chilling. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, literally, I think there is exactly 20 black and whites here in front of City Hall. Oh, Lord almighty. Oh, they're geared up. What's this guy doing? Ooh, we are in the mix of it, brother mans. Oh, the police are turning away. Or they're just parking on the other side of the street. I can't tell. Oh, no, they're leaving. They're leaving. What? Oh, no way. They're parked up. They moved down a couple blocks, got turned around, parked up again, and now they're headed down this way, down Spring. Yo, check out the mask. It's like Nacho Libre or something like that. What? Dude, this whole dog and pony show with the black and whites here. What is the end goal here? I don't even know where they're going. I don't think they even know where they're going. Look, they've come back. What? Well, now there's a ton of people here in front of City Hall now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the straight pipe Tahoe, dude. Yeah, all these people were not here like 15 minutes ago. That's probably why the cops circled back. Very fluid situation. Let's park up right over here. Sunset. It's looking pretty nice. As Bell 40 would say, the gradient. Got some clouds in the sky. Not bad. Straight pipe Tahoe. This area near City Hall is probably the cleanest section of downtown Los Angeles that I'm aware of. Streets are clear, not a lot of homeless. Oh, dude, the mini Cybertruck. It's got a dog in it, too. Oh. Where did that guy with the mini Cybertruck with a dog go? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. He's circling back. He's circling back. No way. That's sick. I want one. I don't even want the real Cybertruck. I want the mini one, dude. That is insane. Let's go. Oh, we got the lowriders. Yes. Oh, I got blocked by the Kia. Moving from location to location. It looks like the crowd is getting bigger, honestly. Just moving from block to block, I guess. Trying to do a little crowd control. Oh, lowrider, lowrider. This guy's called Dirty Money. Hold on. Dirty Money. Oh, that's sick. Oh, they made like a massive loop. Wow. I got to give it to them, man. I thought by sundown, crowds would diminish. I was severely underestimated the crowd here. They're still going strong. Wow. They're paralleling the 101 right now. They got all the entrances and exits over here semi-blocked, but they've opened up the highway, thankfully, so it's not impeding traffic completely, but it looks like a pretty big standstill over there. It's not looking too good. There's a lot of cops there, too. Oh, there's people on the highway. There's people on the highway. Wait, how did they get on the highway? I thought the CHP was locking it down. They've literally gone back on the freeway. No way. We are in business here. There they are right there. No way. Round 3 on the highway, dude. CHP over there clearing it out. They're on foot. It looks like everyone went back up the on-ramp right over there. You see that? There we go. Crazy. They're on foot, bro. No way. Scene out of like a Battle of Los Angeles or something. How did they get back on the freeway? It's actually pretty funny, man. Oh, we got all the lowriders here. Sick. Hold on. Car spot here. Detail A traffic. Next to this protest / rally. Oh, man. It's like 4 of them in a row. Candy red. Sick. Southbound is still closed. Northbound is open again. Cyclist, dude. Oh my goodness. It's absolute mayhem out here. He's got a not construction code, it's like a construction sign, dude. Got the CHP over here. Blocked off this on-ramp. They're just chilling. The real problem is when they start doing dispersal orders at a certain time, and if you don't comply, that's when they get into gear and get into action. So yeah, CHP and ride gear across. Got LAPD ride gear over here. You have the CHP on the on-ramp behind me. It's getting interesting, guys. So we're trying to figure out where everyone is going now, but the crowds are not dissipating. So like I said, it's going to be a matter of time when there's like a curfew or like when the riot police announce it's an unlawful assembly. That's when things go haywire. There's backup right over there. More pulling up as we speak on Los Angeles and Arcadia Street here on this intersection. Best part is they're literally still selling sizzling hot dogs. They smell so good. Getting kind of hungry. Haven't had food all day. Yo, this guy's on top of the Chevy, baby. Fireworks? Fireworks? The real criminals perpetrating all this baloney. Look at this. 779, 785, and 789 for the gas at the Chevron here off the 101. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I feel like the crowds are somewhat thinning out here. A couple of these guys are congregated on this particular bridge or overpass, but LAPD has that completely locked down on that end. But there might be like another group further down over there. If you guys are longtime viewers of the channel and you see me cover the BLM riots, the looting riots in 2020, the Gaza protests on UCLA campuses and DTLA, what these riot police do is they slowly amass forces, little by little, and they eventually push everyone out. And of course, the Dodgers World Series win. A lot of riot police were out, but yeah, these guys, they take the time. They'll put in the forces, they'll put in the time and the energy, and they're going to mass the forces and shut it down block by block, street by street, intersection by intersection. And they're working with the CHP as well. Look how many cops there are just right over here. We were just there like 15 minutes ago. Everyone's gone now. And there's actually a second group right over yonder past this overpass where that super expensive gas station is, the Chevron. There's a second group there. There's probably like another 150 people there, but I don't know if people here have the fortitude to keep going because this might be finitoed. Here they all are, or what's left. Dude, they got cops up the wazoo. This is it, the final stand, the final 100 people here. They don't disperse. It's the game over, brother mans. So you have the Metro Police over here standing guard at Union Station. And you got LAPD over here amassing forces on the street. Is that Alameda or Cesar Chavez? I don't know. A lot of cops. Oh, Lord. Remember that sandwich maneuver that these guys are going to do? Dude, it's game over, man. If they don't leave now, that's it. Do you have the fortitude to have a showdown with the LAPD? You see all the cops over there. They are securing this perimeter over here. There's one here. There's one street over there too. So, yo, look at this setup. He's got the iPad and 2 phones, bro. No way. Let's go. Yeah, that's kind of corny, bro. You guys recall the UCLA protests and the encampments. You're seeing some pretty similar scenes here. But I think most people are going to disperse. Well, most people have dispersed. I kind of wonder how much overtime is being paid for these cops right now. A lot of overtime. Someone drove straight into a wall here off the 405 exit. Holy crap, dude. Oh my goodness. Good God, they didn't even stop. They went right through that wall. Oh my goodness. I think they're all okay. I think it was like an older couple. You hate to see it, man. Jeez Louise. Tesla, walls, and cheese.
Well, people, that was my coverage of the Los Angeles immigration thing that has been going on today. That has been my coverage on today, peoples. It's amazing that all of this stuff is happening now. It's really amazing, peoples. I don't quite understand it. But I mean, hey, you know, people have to fight for their rights, whether you feel that they have rights or not. People are fighting because they have families here and things, and you know. So whatever your take may be upon it, peoples. I mean, pretty much it is what it is. This is just the thing that we're living in right now. It's just the way that it is, and some things that never change. Let's see, peoples. Let's go ahead and watch Channel 7 ABC News. See, peoples, I don't think for one moment that it is the protesters that is starting these fires and doing all of this hilarious and nefarious stuff. That's not the way that you get your message across. And I don't believe for one moment that the protesters had did this. I think that it was some people who, just taking advantage of the situation and just angry with the government, that went on and did this type of larceny. It's crazy, peoples. I mean, you want the people to protest and you want them protest peacefully and stuff, but I don't endorse people destroying other people's property all because you want to get a point across. Now, see, it's things like this. If it was the protesters, then I say, hell, deport them. They don't deserve to be here. When you are destroying people's property and things, and you know, people worked hard to get to where they are. People work hard to get the things that they got and stuff, and then you guys just going ahead and destroy it just in a matter of moment. Now, see, if it's like that, then yeah, I say go ahead and deport their ass if it's the people who is protesting. But if it's not the people who protesting, then well, then hey, you know. And I don't believe it that it is people. So I really don't believe that it is. But as you can see, peoples, this is Los Angeles, the city of lights. And there's a lot of stuff going on out there and whatnot. Thank you, Jesus. I don't live in Los Angeles. I was going to move out there, but then I thought about it and I said, nah, hell to the nah. Hell to the nah, nah, nah. I'm not going to Los Angeles. I'm not moving out there. It's just crazy enough. It's crazy enough, people. I'm not going out there. So, Yeah, I don't think that this has any sound. This is the helicopter. But as you can see, all of the people out there, everybody's protesting and things and stuff. So it's crazy. And so my question simply is this, peoples, do you believe that the people have a right to protest? Do you believe that the people have a right to be in the state, wherever you are, whether it be Texas, California, Michigan, you know, where? Do you think that the people have a right to be here? And do you believe that the people have a right to do the various things that they're doing now? I mean, it's up to you, people. It's what you feel, you know. Because at the end of the day, these people, they're going to express what they feel and they're going to do what they do. And so, you know, Trump can say what he wants to say and stuff, but at the end of the day, the American people, they're going to speak and they're going to speak loudly, peoples. And all of that money, all of that money is just going down the drain, all because the people wants to make their voices heard. Well, as much as Trump tries to do it, I don't think that he's going to get every illegal immigrant out of all of the states. I mean, nice try, but yeah, okay. You know, you want to try to hit with a heavy hand, well, then there's going to be anarchy. People is going to fight back. People is going to start destroying property. I wonder if they're going to go over to Trump Tower and try to do something. You know, I mean, I say if you're really going to make a statement, that would be the first place to start. Trump Tower, peoples. And that's a crying shame. Well, here comes the police. Here comes the police. And these few little guys in in a police suit, what really are they going to do? Look at that crowd. Look at that crowd, people. I mean, what really are they going to do? They're walking down all thinking they're all bad and bold. If the people was to just to turn around and converge on them, yeah, make mincemeat out of them. See, these people, these police officers and stuff, you know, they be wanting to come off all bad and bold and things. But when you have a crowd like that, you stupid for trying to assert some authority. Think that the people is going to be afraid? You better get back to your little cars with the little lights on it and stuff and sit there till you get some new orders. Look at that. They done got the freeway blocked. Why did they got the freeway blocked? Look all of those people. The people were stuck on the freeway. So now a lot of people is going to run out of gas and stuff. Now the people is coming down to the freeway. Why are they stopping the people? That's crazy. Let the people go. Why are they stopping traffic? That does not make no sense to me, people. So I mean, what is the justification of them stopping traffic for what? The people ain't out on the streets and stuff. Everybody is up on top of the ramp. They're not down there, peoples. So why are they stopping traffic? That's crazy. If I was that car right there, man, I would just blow past that officer and be done with. They literally got the highway shut down. Okay, so did they open it up? Okay, they opened up on that side. That's good. Let the people go now. Go ahead and open it up on the other side. All right, so at least they got one side open. I don't know why they don't have the other side open, but that's crazy. See, people, this is exactly the reasons why I choose not to live in Los Angeles. It's because of things like this. It's always congested. There's always something going on. Hello, Ghost 2021A. How are you, my friend? It's a blessing to see you on tonight. Ghost had said, let me see. Ghost has said Trump was the first Republican to get the popular vote since 1984. He's speaking for the majority. That's like trying to kill every ant on earth. Oh, he's also abolishing the Department of Education soon, which I think is funny. Those people aren't willing to sacrifice anything, they just leave. They have gun rights. Well, very interesting commentary, Ghost. Are you a Trump supporter, or are you a Trump supporter, or are you just one that just kind of like wanted to come in and share your thoughts and views upon this of what's going on? I never been a Trump supporter. I don't like Trump. I don't like the things that's going on and stuff, and I didn't vote for him. But I mean, it's okay because at the end of the day, I'm not affected by what he does. I'm not affected personally what he does and things. So I just sit back and just take a look and report upon a lot of the things that's going on. But I'm wondering what's happening over there on the other side of that freeway. So, Ghost, I got a question for you, my friend. Do you think that these immigrants has a right to be in the United States undocumented? You think that they have a right to do so? I mean, it's a very touchy and salty conversation, peoples. Because many of you may know some people who over here illegally and whatnot, and so you may have developed some feelings towards all what's going on. But I just want you people to just be frank and just be honest. I mean, well, here comes the cavalry. They come in full force, but still, there ain't enough cops to move these people. See, the thing is, the cops, they can come in full force and they can walk fast and stuff like that. But once they stop, that's it. Soon as they stop moving, they gave it up. That it's over with. You know, the people aren't gonna respect them. Now, if they come and they come walking strong and they keep walking and move the people, okay, well then they got a fighting chance. But if they're walking up on a group of people and the people don't move, it's over. And it ain't enough cops in no major city like Los Angeles that is going to be able to quell the people. One of their tactics is just to keep control. Okay, see, look, now they're running. Now they're trying to scare the people. See, look what I tell you. The people ain't running. Look at that. The people ain't running. They're running, but the people ain't running. See, now look at the police officer. He's moving back his car. That was a dumb move right there. And the people just standing there on the other side, like, woo doo woo doo woo. Okay, see, look, here they come. They converging. See what I tell you, people. See now they're getting their balls. Now they're getting their balls. And they surrounded the cop cars.
Moving in police and tactical gear in this location, where they wind up going. There are so many arteries where you can then spread back out, whether that can send them back out onto the freeway once again.
All right. Yeah, that's a very good point that Jory makes. We do want to get back to Tim Caputo, who is covering this. It seems he's kind of gotten a little bit out of the way in a safer position now where that crowd isn't so close to him. Tim, what's happening?
Yeah, Jory mentioned it too. Obviously, with the light on the camera on, people see the
Yeah, they issued a dispersal order about 15 minutes ago, and you can see they're starting to move in to disperse the crowd. Now, they were making an announcement up from the helicopters a short while ago. We could not make out what they were saying, as you just saw someone threw something in the direction of the LAPD officers. But the police have been staging and getting ready to move in and are now doing so. But I got to tell you that a short while ago, if you had come out live to us, you would have actually seen people burning rubber at this intersection. And the crowd has changed throughout the day. Earlier, there were lots of families here. There were people with children. We saw people also, elderly people with canes and so forth. And they've left, and the crowd is now much younger and also, as I mentioned, doing things like burning rubber in the intersection. And the LAPD is now moving in to clear them. And we're going to get behind the skirmish line. They're moving in multiple directions here, trying to keep the crowds from joining together and forming one large group. I'm walking now. We're actually at Aliso Street and Main, and the dispersal orders for this intersection as Arcadia and Spring and Arcadia and Main as well. And I'm seeing fireworks being thrown over here in the direction of the police. And I seem to have lost. Oh, there's Frank. We're going to walk across the street. You can hear that they're saying to leave. As you can hear, they're telling people to leave the area. Police, most people seem to be complying and are moving. They've stopped traffic here as well. So we're going to walk across the street because that's where we're seeing items being thrown off.
Obviously, we're having some technical challenges with Christy's mic as she gets farther away from her photographer. Hopefully, the two of them can get a little closer together, and then we might resolve some of those mic issues.
I mentioned to you that we heard people burning rubber, and if we pan over there, you can see that Dodge Charger is doing that right now. You see some of the smoke that is left behind from those tires. Police, and you probably hear that. Another item being thrown. That was a water bottle. So what they're doing here, as you can see, they've deployed one flank here and another flank here, and they will often do this during protests when they want to disperse them. They try to keep the crowd away from each other, from forming one large crowd. So they're dividing them and forcing them in different directions. And that appears to be the strategy here right now.
Christy, do we know of any arrests so far?
Yes. I'm sorry, what's that?
Do we know of any arrests so far?
So far, we've not seen anyone being arrested. They just appear to be dispersing the crowd, but I've not gotten an update from the LAPD, so I cannot tell you that with any certainty. I have personally, though, not witnessed any arrests.
And Christy, we saw over the weekend that they took over the freeways at some point. It seems like there's a strong effort to keep people off the freeways tonight.
There definitely is. The LAPD was blocking the entrance to the 101 here at Aliso and Main. And also we saw the CHP. In fact, if we pan down that way, actually it's blocked, so you will not be able to make it out. But the CHP has blocked some of the off-ramps from the 101 freeway here as well in an attempt to keep people from going onto the freeway. But I got to tell you, we've been here all day long. And as I said, the crowd was very different earlier. It's lots of families, and they didn't show any real interest, as far as I could tell, in taking the freeway. Right now, though, it's a much younger crowd. As we're hearing, you could probably hear it there in the distance, people being kind of rowdy with, again, burning rubber and so forth and throwing items at the police as they're trying to clear them out. So we really saw a shift also in the energy here. And who was here?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday it started about noontime, I'm going to estimate, and then it lasted until late last night. Yes, the 101 was taken over for some time yesterday. And of course, that was the same day as the Grammys. You see the bottle there, looks like a beer bottle.
And as we know, when they declare an unlawful assembly, that means that right now, all of the protests, there's a skirmish. All the protesters are technically in violation of the law right now. So that gives the LAPD the right to start making arrests if these people don't leave in a reasonable amount of time.
However, I could not hear the dispersal order, Alex.
Okay.
It was made over the helicopter, but I could not hear it. And so I don't know how many people here have heard it.
Yeah, oftentimes they'll do that over loudspeakers and say it repeatedly to try to give people time. We're also looking at the Mexico flag. Christy, I'm curious, what is the ratio we see of Mexican flags compared to maybe American flags out there?
I'm sorry, Alex, I can't hear what you're asking.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of El Salvadorian flags as well. Mexican flags we've seen. I haven't seen any American flags thus far. I'm not sure if you have, Alex, in all the coverage.
There are American flags. I've seen multiple throughout the day, and sometimes people will be flying both.
So in terms of what we're looking at now, again, that the dispersal order has been made. So it's a question now of trying to get these protesters out of the area. And hopefully all this can happen in a peaceful way. What's the main message, Christy, that you're hearing from a lot of the protesters today that you're talking to?
What I'm hearing is that a lot of people here are saying that immigrants built this country and should be respected. And we've also talked to multiple people who tell us they are American citizens themselves, but they're here for family members who are documented, and they want to speak and draw attention to their plight as well. They tell us many are now at home afraid to leave their home. And there were lots of people here today, too. There was a man who came. He was actually walking with a cane, and he brought his family who was visiting from Dallas. They all came down with they brought their American passports and their American birth certificates, but they said that they wanted to be here. And you can see police. Telling people to leave. Some of them are standing where they are not moving. Some of them have their cell phones out. Appear to be either recording, some cases live streaming this.
And this isn't just limited to the city of Los Angeles. We saw the crowd earlier in in Orange County and Santa Ana. It's officially a day without migrants. That's what they're calling this day. This unlawful assembly declared just a few minutes ago. So far, no word of any arrest, but that could soon change because, to Alex's point, now that they have officially declared it an unlawful assembly, given them enough time, them being the protesters, to take note of that, then they are in violation of the law if they do not disperse.
And we know that there is a
message. I can read you some of the signs if you like. I mean, there's a woman there standing there. She says that her parents work harder than our president. There's others that say that I don't believe in borders. Others, signs that we're seeing are just taking issue with. There's one that is an anti-fascism sign. Another one that says, "We stand together, we speak for those who can't." Those are the types of signs we're seeing. We just heard maybe a firecracker go off. Actually, no, it was a foam baton. So apparently the LAPD is now deploying those foam batons. So essentially, instead of rubber bullets, they now use, it's like a foam projectile that they will shoot into the crowd, and it leaves behind a canister. And what I've seen in the past at other protests is that sometimes they will pick up the canister and throw it back at police. But that indicates that was just fired, and I think that's what we heard.
So as we know, as you're watching this, there is a constitutional right to protest in this country. You're allowed to have your say, but there are limits on that. And oftentimes protests, especially in downtown Los Angeles, will get permits. They will work with the LAPD on a process sometimes of shutting down streets to allow people to have their right and have their say. Okay, so, yes. Things are getting escalating here. But then it sometimes gets to a point where the LAPD feels like it is now endangering public safety. You do not have a constitutional right to shut down a street. You do not have a constitutional right to get into a freeway. You do not have a constitutional right to step in front of somebody's car. Police have an opportunity or an ability under the law to step in and try to enact order, which seems to be what's happening here right now. And we're seeing the after effects of that as well. As we know, this issue of immigration is something that's very personal for so many people in Southern California. Most Americans do like the concept of borders based off of polling. But the topic of birthright citizenship, which is something that the Trump administration is trying to end, which has been guaranteed in the Constitution for generations, basically means if you are born here, even if your parents are undocumented, you are an American citizen. And so what we're seeing a lot of today, according to Christie's reporting, is kids who are American citizens, but their parents may not be. That is something the Trump administration is actively trying to stop. They have an executive order on that, which is being challenged, which could go to the United States Supreme Court. And that is one of the many things that people are fired up about as we look on the streets of downtown Los Angeles. And Christy, it seems like they're pushing everybody back. As we look at some of the reporters and photographers, I think from the LA Times that are there, Christy may have just said hello to. Seems like they're moving people back.
We need more room. We need more room. Back up. We got you.
Not sure if Christy can hear us.
You
but
can hear the LAPD officer saying we need more room back up. And yes, they are pushing people away. And on social media on X, LAPD Central Division put out a statement saying that the incident commander for the demonstration at Aliso Arcadia on Los Angeles Street has issued a dispersal order right there at that location. All those who remain may be subject to arrest. Route of travel is northbound Los Angeles to Cesar Chavez. So it does look like they are making progress to push the crowd back. As to where they will all disperse to, we'll see. But now LAPD officers making a run for it somewhere else.
I don't know. Yeah, some more LAPD resources, Alex and Marla, have just come in. They are pushing back the crowd. As I mentioned, they are pushing them in multiple directions, in 4 different directions right now, trying to get them to leave the downtown LA area and also to prevent them from forming one larger group. You can see they have deployed those foam batons that I meant. You can hear them being fired right now as we speak. And also, we're still hearing cars burning rubber. And we're seeing the smoke from that. But at time to time, we're also seeing what appear to be maybe firecrackers or fireworks being thrown at police officers here, as well as oranges and water bottles, and also glass bottles as well. We're seeing the LAPD airship above us. You can see some people seem to be moving in the direction that the police are asking them to go to, but others are not. They're still staying here, as you can tell from all around us. So there are the skirmish line moving towards Placita Olvera, but now another one is forming, moving back towards Aliso and Main. They did manage to break up this group into two groups. You can see people on the megaphone.
And there's a lot of symbolic value to where this is all happening. If you think about it, we've been on the move in downtown Los Angeles, not all that far from City Hall, not all that far from LAPD headquarters, as we now move towards Olvera Street, which is such an important part of the history of Los Angeles and really the center of where the city started, and also so much of the Latino heritage and immigrant heritage celebrated on Olvera Street every day. And then you think about times like Dia de los Muertos and other holidays that really Olvera Street has become a central gathering point for many people, especially of Mexican descent in Los Angeles. And so it is, go ahead.
That we've covered. We're seeing people on bicycles, on foot, and also in cars, I should say. So that is an additional element that the police are dealing with that is not typical of every protest that we've covered. Just heard more fireworks going off. And I mentioned how they're splitting up the groups. You can see them pushing groups, one group of protesters in that direction, and then holding the line in this direction, so the people that are where we're standing cannot join the other group.
And I hope the news is going to tell a real story about how LAPD started the violence today.
And you're talking about the fact that the protesters, including cars, because oftentimes we'll see in some of these scenarios that the cars themselves get stuck, sort of innocent people who happen to be driving by. But what Christy's suggesting here is that some of the vehicles we're seeing in this are protesters themselves who are using their cars to have their say.
I don't know. Well, there was definitely one, the one that was doing basically burnouts, but others are just protesting in their cars. They've been doing that all day long, and many of them peacefully. They've been driving around, flying their flags, but that's an additional element that at this hour, when they're trying to get people to go home and they're issuing a dispersal order, that they're having to do as well.
And this group bringing in their instruments.
Yes. Yes, they're now playing music.
Yeah, and all of this happening at a time where we have seen some of these ICE raids in major cities across the United States. We have not seen major raids in Los Angeles yet, but one has to assume that the second largest city in America is on the list of the Trump administration, which has said that Los Angeles is on the list, and that could begin as early as this week. So if you think this protest is big now, that may exacerbate and make protests even bigger. And in some ways, there are some people that wonder if things like that might depress turnout, people scared to come out. But we see a lot of these folks who seem to be proud to be out, to celebrate their Mexican heritage, to have their say in America, and to try to send a message when it comes to what's happening right now when it comes to immigration.
Christy, the police officers seem to be leaving those playing the music alone right now.
They do for the moment, and I have to say, for the most of the day, it has been very peaceful. People were just out here demonstrating, and even now there are a few that are engaging police, as we saw that they were throwing bottles and items, but there are others who weren't. Much of the group that you're seeing here was behind the police officers, and right now they're not engaging them. They're just playing music and dancing in the street.
Yeah, and so it seems like this protest has gotten a little less chaotic and a little more joyous in the last few minutes as the music comes out, and certainly seems to be less of a threat for the LAPD.
Well, the bottles that we were seeing being thrown were not coming from this group. They were coming from some that were pushed out. So they're now been separated. We can walk in that direction and see what's going on over there if you'd like. So we're passing. They're not letting us through.
And we know once the sun sets, which it has, and it's officially going to be dark very, very soon, things can also get a little bit more rowdy nighttime.
Yes, that is often the case. And like I said earlier today, there were lots of families here. There were people here with children, and it was a very different energy. And also there were a lot of elderly people. Right now you can see who's here. It is much younger people in general. You can hear them talking to the police now.
And Christy, I think it's important as we're looking at the LAPD officers, batons in hand, to point out the crowd right now is a much younger crowd. And earlier you said it was more family oriented because you've been out there all day. And again, to reiterate, their message is to, noting that LA is a sanctuary city, their message is to the Trump administration.
I'm really sorry, Marla. I could not hear what you asked. Right now, there are some protesters that are asking police why they've issued a dispersal order. Some also blaming police for starting all of this, saying that they were demonstrating peacefully. And that certainly was true for some of the protesters here. Many of them were peaceful. But as we've seen, there have been some who have been throwing items and so forth. So different people came to this protest, and some of them did want to peacefully protest, and there were others who apparently, at least in the last half hour or so, have wanted to engage police, and they're still playing music.
And now as we hit nighttime, you see that LAPD helicopter overhead shining its light on this, keeping a track of it from the air. And we see the officers standing by on the ground.
And it seems like, well, not seems like it, they have split up in two. So now we have the skirmish line here. This is where those ultimately playing music and being more jovial have gathered up ahead. It was the more rowdy protesters, if you will, and those folks have been pushed back by LAPD.
I was trying to get to the website, peoples. I couldn't find it, but there it is, peoples. That was the thing that was going on out there in Los Angeles, and I think that's what my live has yet begun, and I think it's coming to an end now, peoples. 7:40, we're 2 hours in, and I think that we have literally saw the protest for itself, saw the people exercising their rights and things. Everybody was pretty much peaceful, except for a few knuckleheads wanted to burn down some people's property and things, which I don't agree with, but you're always going to have some knuckleheads and things. And so, people's, there it is. And I'm not going to call it the LA riots because it wasn't no riot. It was a peaceful protest that the people out there in Los Angeles has done. And so there it is, people. That's my coverage for tonight. I'll be back with something new, something wonderful. You guys go back and check out the lives that I had did just not too long ago. Quite don't understand why the man sits and cries and plays music all day long, but okay, it is what it is and stuff. So I'm looking into a couple of new cases and things, people. So I'm just trying to gather a little bit more information upon it before I present it to you. But today was headline news. Today was happening all over and things, and I couldn't help but show this because the people needed to see it. And I'm glad that you were able to see it. Now you guys go ahead and share it. Share because you care. All right, Ghost 21A. I'm out of here, my friend. People, as you like and subscribe to this channel, share this video, and keep us up in the algorithm. Is that all right, peoples? All right, peoples. Peoples, I hope I had said something to encourage your hearts upon today. Tune in again next time to when Edward Joseph Let's Talk Live, Edward Joseph Kitchen, Edward Joseph Gospel Hour, Edward Joseph's Blessings Giveaway 2024-25 will come to you with something wonderful. I love you with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peoples, mask up and be safe. And again, peoples, that is what's happening out in LA as we speak and all over the country. That is what's happening. And the people is just exercising their rights. And so as long as they keep it peaceful and don't go around and destroying people's property, I'm all for that of what they're fighting for. Is that all right, peoples? Whether they're here illegally or not, you know, our government has done much shady stuff. So I say power to the people. You guys be blessed. Get your rest in. If the Lord says the same, people, so I'll be back. I'll be back with something. Not quite sure what, but I'll be back with something. Is that all right, peoples? All right. You guys pray for these people. Pray that no families be disconnected. And pray that the people get their message across. And then let's get back to the way that things used to be. Let's get back civil. Is that all right, peoples? This is Black History Month. And so we need to start looking at something that represents Black history. And I think I'm going to share a few things that represents Black history, peoples. Is that all right? We have a whole month to do so. So let's learn a few things about what our contribution is to the United States as well, peoples. Is that all right? So, peoples, again, you be blessed. Get your rest in. If the Lord says the same, I'll be back soon. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.